I'm just saying, you can't explain.
Hold on 1 minute. I'm trying to get myself together. But I had to wait until I got myself together.
I'm
So.
just listening. That's all. Go ahead. You can answer anything. I'm just saying. If you in Australia, how you feel the same stars as somebody in
Right
Canada?
now, I'm listening to a group of people.
No, you don't see the same thing because you're further from
regarding a few things.
I'm not saying you see the same thing at the
As far
same
as
time.
like,
But if I'm
you
in
know,
Australia, I see
the
the big
shape of the
difference
earth
eventually, don't I?
and
If you in Australia, can't you see the big
historical
difference
wars
eventually?
and things like that.
Yeah, you can see some of the same stars, but you also see some different ones.
What I'm saying is, if you on a ball, you would never see the same stars because you point in a whole different direction in the fucking sky.
There you go, right there. Mike, checkmate, bro. Checkmate, bro.
Yep.
Checkmate,
I got one question. One question.
bro.
I got
That
one
was
question.
checkmate.
No, this will be the checkmate right here. Here's the last question. If we're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, orbiting the sun at 67,000 miles an hour, while our sun is dragging us through gravity, right, pulling us through the solar system at 500,000 miles an hour, while we were ejected, as scientists say, mainstream, from the Big Bang at a 1.3 trillion miles an hour, how come we still see the same stars that the Mayans saw, and we traveled so much? If everything's a Big Bang, everything went all around. Everything kept going.
We expanded. You shouldn't be seeing the
How
same
the fuck
stars.
we been seeing these same stars for a million goddamn years? Check this out. Yo, you know what? So people about that in an expanding universe, the Big Dipper get bigger and bigger every year until it. Yeah. And if you on a ball and you on the bottom of the ball, you would never see the same stars that I would see on the top of the ball. It just wouldn't happen. So you telling me we spinning up and down too?
And Polaris will have to mimic every move of the Earth if it's going through the galaxy and what they say 10,000 whatnot. For that star to be in the same exact spot every time, that means it would have to mimic every turbulence, every move, everything forever.
Polaris will have to have.
I'll do you one better, Drop. I'll do you one better. Polaris will actually start getting dimmer.
Yeah.
Or we'll have to follow it.
Because guess what? They teach that the universe is expanding so much that the nearest star to Earth gonna be so many light years in the future. So shit gonna be so far apart that Polaris gonna be so damn so far it ain't gonna be no Polaris eventually.
The conversation is pretty good.
We see it. Same light
I
coming
want
up.
to go out today.
A scientist named Santilli, it didn't have anything to do with Pete Santilli.
Right.
The scientist named Santilli has Santilli Foundation, developed an entire mathematics using faith.
All right. I'm here, and I hope you guys can hear me. I'm not sure if you can or can't. Hold on. Let me find out. So, this is where I'm at right now. And I'm trying to figure out. Okay, we good. All right. My whole thing is when I have my window open because it's super fucking hot in here, and so we're just going to hear everything that the next door neighbors are doing. I apologize ahead of time. But so today's going to be a pretty easy day. I don't have anybody else coming on today, which is fine. I don't have a problem with it at all. It'll make it a little bit easier for me. And so we can get started. I want to do like a small business shout out with y'all first and foremost. So what I'm going to do is I didn't have any black owned businesses pop up. So again, I'm going to shout out a black owned business that I have on my website. And I'm going to start off with sharing my screen with y'all. So when you go to my Black Business Director on my website, letsnobodiescollection.com, you go on this Nobody shopping page. So you see Nobody's Black owned directory. And so I have, my small little bits. So just pick a random, boom. Who's this? The Wire God. I love him. I love his jewelry. His jewelry is pretty dope. So this is the Wire God. He just did a photo shoot, actually. That large medallion is one of his creations. A wand. What he does, he makes gemstone, just really pretty wire wrap gemstone pieces, and he's very good at it. The sunglasses, the necklaces, he's very talented. So that's his Instagram is Cosmic Vision Jewelry. So if you want to support the troops, he's the one. He's the go-to. Another one, boom. Oh, I did this one last week. But this is Ezekiel's gaming what do you call it? YouTube page. And his YouTube is GeekyBoy257. And then one more. This is Enchanted Universe. This is a spiritual supply store. They have a little bit of everything. There's a little pop-up thing that pops up as soon as you get on there. Oh, this is a Facebook page. That's why that happened. Let me see what they have in their photos. Court Domination Oil. That's love. Oh, I went to this. Oh, wait, no, I didn't go to this. Is it like the same person that uses the flyer, makes the flyers? I don't know. That might be like a universal flyer. Because when I went to an Atlanta event, they had the same exact flyer. But, Saturday, August 22nd. Oh, hell yeah, I'm trying to go. Yeah, I'm trying to go. That might be the wave. I might be in New Orleans on August 22nd. We're going to see. So that's what's happening. And that's my small business shout out. So, boom. Okay. So rehashing. Last Thursday, it didn't record when I was trying to do my interview with Brother Christopher. I had a group of Moors come on. They represent the USAR, which is the United States. I don't want to lie to you. American Republic, I believe. And they pretty much identify as Moorish Americans. And with the idea with becoming a Moorish American, you give up your, I guess, U.S. citizenship, and then you adopt the Moorish American citizenship. And essentially what it is you're still integrated within society. You still go to work. You still, do all these things. I see a few people utilize this, and it holds up in court. I also seen there's a chapter out in Vineland, New Jersey. I live in New Jersey, So there's a chapter out in Violin, New Jersey, and in that chapter, they were actually sending out repossession letters in the name of being Moorish American, and this was our land first, etc., etc. I was interested. When I spoke to, Brother Chris from USAR, I had a few questions answered. It was a really good interview, and I feel really bad that it wasn't recorded or anything. Like, y'all missed out on a big gem. And then on top of that, like, my internet service was retarded, but gratefully I have better internet service now. I fixed those issues. So, and this would be the 1 week that I don't have anybody to interview. I finally got it together, y'all. But anyway, so he answered a few questions or whatever. It's still a bit of a gray area as far as, integrating in society and being a part of society, but still claiming Moorish American. That didn't quite click with me. It felt like it only applied to certain things. I ran into a brother who sent me a few videos. I'm going to take the time to listen to them later on today regarding fighting for your rights, and he doesn't identify as a Moor. So I'm especially interested in how he utilizes the Black Law Dictionary to his favor when he's in court. He actually beat a few court cases learning how to speak when in a courtroom. So I will be looking into those, and I will be posting them in the chat space on letsnobodiescollection.com. When you go to the website, you click on the Nobody's Talking. You can, sign up. I'm already a member, so I'm going to log in. Oh, you're going to make me remember passwords and stuff? Hold on, because I don't bother to remember passwords. Okay. So we log in, go to Nobody's Talking, and look, it's me doing this right now. Our live Thursday meetings will always be here, so if anybody misses this meeting, you can always press play over here. You can join me on YouTube, or you can come in on the StreamYard chat, and you can come in and we can look at each other's faces and stuff, and you can, I give people who have small businesses a chance, to get on this platform and talk and speak their piece. And then these are all my groups. So whatever information I put up regarding the Moorish Americans, they are all the information that I had thus far, like all the other Moorish American groups and temples and things like that I found, I put them all in the law group. So you can go to the law group and you'll see like all the different links that I found. Oh yeah, they fixed it. Love. So these are all the different links that I found with the Moorish Americans and their constitutions and things like that. The week prior to that, I had spoke with Brother Rasimba, who was a representative and creator of URA, and I really liked his constitution because it was in conjunction with the constellations and cosmogony, and I really appreciated that. That was a nice touch. That kind of fit like my own ideals that I already had, and so I kind of clunked it out a little bit. This past Sunday, I had an event. Unfortunately, Brother Rasimba was not able to attend, but it was in hopes of Rasimba utilizing that public platform to talk about being a Moor, how to become a Moor, how to become a part of the URA for those who were interested, but it just didn't work out that way. It ended up turning out really good, though. Let me take y'all. Where's my keyboard? So it ended up turning out really well. We had a good turnout. A lot of people were outside. We went to Orange, New Jersey. We went to the Orange Park. We handed out free T-shirts that were created by a brother of mine, Alfred. He makes a bunch of T-shirts and bags, and I'm going to get into him in a minute. But so I had a bunch of T-shirts, bags, some swag bags, which I've been reaching out to other small Black businesses, and I've been telling them if y'all got business cards, flyers, samples, whatever y'all got, just give it to me so that I can go on and put them in my swag bags. And every time I give somebody something from, every time I give somebody a package, if you go on my website, letsnobodiescollection.com, and you decide to order organize, when you get your box, you'll have a whole bunch of business cards and everything else inside of that box or whatever. And then at the event, we also had swag bags that we were handing out with all of these things in there here as well. And that was pretty cool. So This is, the t-shirts that we were giving out. Brother Al came, made me a bunch of t-shirts. We were handing them out and asking for donation. And the donation, which I'll get into in a minute, I just want to show y'all, like, this is the turnout. We were able to talk and reach out to a lot of people who were interested. A lot of people that didn't know about Organites, didn't know about the EMF emissions, didn't know about Les Nobodies or crystals. We had a few people who were interested in Harriet Tubman School for the Gifted and interested in Nobody's Land, which I'll get into in a minute. So this is a few pictures from the turnout and how everything turned out. It was really cool. So moving on. So that was that. So talking about Harriet Tubman School for the Gifted. Well, first let's get into Nobody's Land. So for those who don't know, I haven't really spoken about it too much. I pretty much manifested in my own space and time. But Les Nobodies is working on purchasing land. I had my cousin on here the first couple of meetings that we had, and we spoke on buying properties in New Jersey. I have a few beefs with that. Not wholehearted beefs, like I'm malleable. If I could find affordable land in New Jersey or affordable building in New Jersey just to have a headquarters here while I'm here, I'm all for it. Because, I'm here now, so why not just have, something, a building or something, whatever now. However, a lot of these places, living in the state or whatever, they're extremely expensive for a little piece of land. But I was able to find smaller ones. So we have this parcel of land, which is about 9 acres. I highly doubt it's $3,000. I reached out to the woman. She hasn't responded to me yet. I believe the down payment is $3,000. But I like this because there's warehouses. See that nice size warehouse in there? Like, we will be able to have Nobody's Land products in there as well as Harriet Tubman's products in there. And I'll get into a minute what that is. But like, that's the back of the warehouse. That's the front. It's a nice size building. Obviously, it's a good, manufacturing building. If anybody has inventory, they want to hold their inventory, we can charge rent and inventory. It's a nice outside space around that area for outdoor events if need be. Found another one. They don't have any photos for this one, but this one was only $25,000, which isn't too bad. And that was for 1.6 acres, and that's around my way as well. I live in Burlington, and you probably get like an old beat down RV, maybe a couple of them, an old beat down box, put them on land, fix them up in the inside so they look like something, and then go from there. You know what I mean? This one was 6 acres for $50,000. And this one is a little bit more work because it's a wooded area. There's also some restrictions. Like, they don't really want the trees cut too much in this area. There's some restrictions because you're still kind of in the city area. And then last but not least, Burlington County, another wooded area, but there's still some open spaces. So we'll probably cut like a few trees and then, sit in the open space, and, it's a lot more greenery. And this one is for $75,000, again, because you're near a city. So they charge a lot. Like, New Jersey is very expensive. So, all right, Nika, what's Nobody's Land? Glad you asked. So my goal is to promote off-grid living. We're trying to purchase, I am trying to purchase, and if anybody wants to join me, I'm all here for the collective unity in regards to that. In the meantime, I have been looking for land in Arizona. Why do I like Arizona? I like Arizona because it's off-grid. I also like Arizona because the land is cheap. I'm trying to find the window that has all the Arizona places on there. Hold on a second. I'm gonna have to come back to these. No. So yeah, I was trying to find land that was affordable, and then also land that like I could do whatever I want on it without much restriction. And it just felt like all arrows led to. Oh, that is this one. It just felt like all arrows led to Arizona. It's like this, for example, is 5 acres for $2,000. And I even looked on the map. Like, if you look on the map, I looked mostly in Apache County. which seems to be on the border between Arizona, and New Mexico. And so it's not a bad area. It's an hour. It's like an hour away from town. 2 hours away from other towns. So it's not a bad area. Like, see how all of that is circled in red? That's all Apache County. The majority of this is for sale, y'all. Like, yo, if we collectively did this, like, for those of you who are against, I wouldn't bank on nobody's stimulus check, but like everybody's getting like the extra 600 to their, unemployment money. Like, just put a couple of $100 to the side, because this land over in this area, like, we could have our own county if we wanted to, and everybody can do whatever they wanted to in their own space. You know what I mean? But in the meantime, nobody's land is doing a thing. So over here is 5 acres for $19.95. I want more than 5 acres. How many acres do you want, Eva? I'm so glad you asked. A bitch want 40? So nah, I want 40 acres. 40 acres is only $13,000. Yes, I want it. Like, so this one I really like. They're all in the same area, like I told y'all before. But there's a free like water well over in this area. Everybody's welcome to go to it as many times as they need. Say the community well. There's community wells. If y'all like to hunt, because y'all can't stop eating meat, it's no like this area. There's no hyenas over in this area. They probably come every now and then, but it's mostly like deer, antelope, and things like that. See, oh, you're a little chunky. So yeah, that's the area, and see, it's about 46 miles away from town. You have the national park, blah blah blah. Holbrook is like a town when you want to do stuff. So this area is about an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes, probably 2 hours. And that's that area. This area, another one that I really like. This is so pretty to me. I would rather this space. I like the view in this space. I would rather this group of 40 acres. And of course, for those of you who are wondering, like, oh my God, Arizona's a desert. It's barren land. It's really not barren land. I watched this young brother. He moved from Atlanta to Arizona. I don't know what area in Arizona he lives in, but he kind of like lives off grid. Well, not kind of. He does live off grid, and he creates solar panels and things like that. And he's living just fine. Had a baby, had a wife, everything on his land. And I think that's so beautiful. So, you can grow things, you can eat. And just to debunk some things for y'all that's like, oh my God, it's so hot, how are you gonna breathe? So this specific area is near Colorado. So when you go back to this area, well, we're looking at in this corner right here. It's got a little space right there. So you could travel to Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, and if you want to go on a road trip, make your way to Vegas or wherever else you want to do. You know what I mean? So yeah, this area you can it is on the plateau. It's about 6,000 feet elevation, I believe. It does snow in Arizona, for those of you who think it's just hot all year round and you don't do nothing. The average high temperature in the coldest month of January is 50 degrees. That's regular to me. I live in New Jersey. It gets like 10 degrees over here, and my body be hurting. I don't like it. So summer temperatures are mild, with daytime highs averaging in the upper 80s. The summer lows average in the 30s. Average in the 70s. So, like, you're not going to die. It's not hot 24/7. Nobody out there is, like, cooking eggs on their forehead. You're moving the same way you would move where you already are. I had to debunk a lot of things, because when I talk about Arizona, everybody starts thinking about the Sahara Desert and stuff like that. Like, no, you can grow things. You can grow food. It's the reason why it doesn't cost as much, because it's not developed. It's not too close to cities. It's not all those things. Like, I live in New Jersey. I live next to a train station. I live next to a bridge to another state. I live next to water. I live next to all these things that make, like, property value go up. Out here is nothing going on out here yet. So the property value is not up yet. My goal, I would like to buy myself 40 acres. The goal is to purchase it by September because next year around September's time, I would like to have the first Nobody's retreat. I would like to start marketing the Nobody's retreat come October. The Nobody's retreat, I'll offering a bunch of business owners to come out. Let's collectively do our thing. If you are a shaman, come out and do your shaman shit. If you are a motivational speaker and you like to talk, okay, you got a platform out here. We're going to build some stages and this, that, and the third out there for you. We're going to have tables set up for businesses. We're going to have a camp out section for y'all to camp out at. Y'all want to bring out RVs. Y'all want to bring out tents, etc., etc. Of course, y'all know Nobody's has a music label, so all of my music artists will be out there performing. I just got this guy who's like amazing at making dance music. I'm so sure I can get that man to come out there and show love. Like a nice Nobody's tribe is being built right now to the point where by next year at this time, yeah, y'all gonna want to be at that Nobody's convention. So this is the goal, to purchase 40 acres in Arizona and start building there. What are we building there? I'm so glad you asked. You asked really good questions. I love it. So, and these are other plots of land just to show and prove, because I was trying to tell people like, yo, if I buy 40 acres, okay, let me tell y'all how this works. So, this is the 40 acres I want. Say, this is the 40 acres I want, right? All they want is 15,000. Where is it? It's 13,000. It don't say it on here. But they do have owner financing. I'm about to find one that has it. Okay, so this one is $16,000, right? It say up here, $145 a month. You're only going to pay, let me see if they got it on here. This land is now on sale at $1,590. You only have to pay $1,600 down, and then a monthly payment of $150. That's a phone bill. My phone bill costs more than that by a couple of dollars because it's me and my son. But that's a phone bill, and that's not bad. $1,600 and then $150 down a month. That's doable, and then you have money to build on the land. Now I know you guys are like, "What about my rent?" Well, if you wholeheartedly trust yourself, then just go out there and live on the land as you build on the land. You got 40 acres. Rome is yours. You know what I mean? If I were to buy 40 acres and you were to buy 40 acres and this person and that person, and we all bought 40 acres all over here, we could ultimately own the whole county as some, as it adds up, and we don't have to dream that big. We could just have at least 100 acres, whatever, just space. Because, if I, buy this 40 acres, who's to say somebody not going to buy the 40 acres next to me and do some crazy stuff on that 40 acres, and now they next door to me? You know what I mean? Like, I don't bother. I would rather somebody, a part of the tribe, or, somebody I'm acquainted with already, to buy 40 acres on this side, that side, that side, that side. We all each other neighbors, and we already know each other, and we only paying $150 a month. I haven't seen all of these, like the 36 acres. That one's also $145 a month. This one didn't say anything on it, I don't think. Nope, it says it's 19,000, and then it's 1,900 down, and then $173 a month, so like $180 a month. That's still nothing. That's doable for all of us. And okay, if we all live on the 40 acres, which is fine by me, I'll love that. If we all paying $150. If the monthly fee is $150 a month, and then the taxes is only like $12 a year, and we split that among 10 people, that's $15 a month you're paying for rent. And all the other money that comes through your hands, your pockets, whatever, can go towards you building your personal farm, building your home, traveling, whatever. All you gotta do is pay $15 a month, and rent. If 10 of us move to Arizona. That's nothing. I would rather spend my 8 hours. That means, like, I make jewelry. I sell jewelry. That means that I don't only have to sell one piece a month to pay my rent. My necklaces are $20. I only have to sell one necklace a month, and my rent paid. And the rest of my money goes to if I want to go back to Jersey, if I want to go do this, if I want to go do that, if I want to add to land and stuff like that. Like, That's nothing. That's really nothing, y'all. Like, it's doable. We can do it. I can do it by myself. I have no problem doing it by myself. Last thing I'm trying to do is impose less nobodies on anybody. Like, that's one of the things that I see is repetition amongst a lot of organizations and companies and businesses. Is like, I'm right. What I want to do is right because you don't want to do what I want to do. You must be wrong. And that is not the narrative that I'm trying to carry with y'all at all. Not at all. Not even a little bit. I'm just sharing with y'all what I do, and I want it to look realistic to y'all. Now, say if it was 10 of us, if it's okay, we'll go back to the small. This one was 40 acres and it was 1,300. If it's 10 of us, that means what? We all would have to pitch in. Well, the down payment is only like 1,300. Yeah, 1,300. So we would all have to pitch in $130 for a down payment if we all were to go in hand in hand with that. If you didn't want to get your own 40 acres and you're like, okay, like, can I get 48? Can we all just do parts on this 40 acres? All right, bet. I don't mind. It's, 10 of us, each of us can get 4 acres of land. And that loosen up our coins a little bit more. We can collectively go ahead and buy the next 40 acres once we, get our money up. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, it can happen. We could do it. We could either do it together or everybody could be like, well, I want to do it by myself. Well, I want to do it by myself. You can do it by yourself too, and it can still get done. You feel me? I seen a brother that was trying to buy land out in Nevada, which is also another good idea. That's also a lot of good land out there for the low, as well as New Mexico and Utah. It's undeveloped land, and it's there. And for those who think that it's barren, it's not barren. You can grow things there. It's not 1,000 degrees all year round. It's more so humid in the city areas of Arizona because there's bodies there. And what do bodies do? Bodies have electromagnetic things that on us because we're electric beings and we create humidity. And then they have pools out there and everything. And, it's just a whole bunch of things out there that nobody wants to be own up to that we do when we create civilization that makes it hotter. You ever been in a room by yourself and you be chilling and then like 3-4 people come in your room and it's like, damn, it's hot as hell in here. Yeah, they sucked up all the coolness. That's what we do when we're like together. That's why I'm like, yo, you get your acres, I get my acres, this, that, and the third, or we could all put in money and get these acres together real quick, and then we could start putting money towards investing into more acres, so we could build a shopping mart, so people want to come to us. We can build a motel, like a TP type, motel type thing, like a lot of people are interested in living off grid, but they're not 100% confident about living off grid. Some people like to do retreats. Some people like to host them. Some people like to attend them. We could host Black business conventions on the land, concerts, whatever, anything. And guess what? You only need to make $15 at any event that occurs in order for the rent to be paid. I think that's amazing. And it's not even rent. I'm sorry. I misspoke. It's not even rent. It's payment to own. We're not renting. We're paying on it to own it. It'll be ours. So that's the goal. That's nobody's land goal. The land will be purchased by August. I have been working on a handful of things to raise money for this, and the t-shirts in the bags, and handing out the t-shirts in the bags and asking for donations. Those donations go towards the land. So how much money do we have so far? I'm glad you asked. We currently have $200, which is not bad. Not bad at all. And that's just donations. What's going to happen is when September roll around, I'm going to put in my personal money and just make up the balance or whatever and go ahead and do what I got to do. I'm not worried about that. But, just donations alone, that's where we're at. That's why, I'm pushing this Let's Nobody's Organizing Gemstones. If y'all know anybody that's interested, let me know. I'm pushing I also teach Forex. I teach people how to trade. I teach people the basics, how to set it up on their phone or on their computer. Let people know if you have issues with setting up your website and you're utilizing Wix. I'm pretty good with Wix. Let's Nobody's website was made on Wix. I've been using it for like 7 years. I charge for that too. I also do natal tarot readings. How does that work? Okay, you give me your natal information. I'll pull up your natal chart. I explain your natal chart in layman's terms, and then I pull a tarot card for each of your planets, and then I do an overall reading for your overall chart. And I do it, I record it, and I send you the video. So at any point in time in your life where you want to rehash, rewind, pause, whatever, only focus on one planet at a time, you can do whatever you want because it's your video. You have a video now, a movie of you. You know what I mean? So that's another thing that I charge for as well. So those are the services. I have Johnny Nobody who does graphic arts now. So if anybody needs a logo, cover art, anybody, he does a wonderful job. He's done a lot of the cover art on the Let's Nobody's website as well as on my page. You'll see if you go to Sunshine Monet on Instagram or Facebook, you'll see a lot of his artwork, and he does an amazing job. And some of the proceeds of what he makes will also go. And I linked up with a few Black-owned farms. That was another conversation that we had, the first two meetings. If there was any Black-owned farms in the state of New Jersey, and I actually found two. There's one in Pemberton, and they own about 30-something acres. I reached out to them. And then there's one, I believe, in Gloucester. They bought 1 acre, and they're actually trying to link up with the farm in Pemberton. So that works. I'm trying to reach out to them. I have reached out to them. I'm waiting for a response in regards to me purchasing produce from them and creating vegan platters. I would like to create vegan platters, some infused, some not infused. And I'll do, I'll take orders, and I'll have like maybe vegan viernes, like Fridays, I'm handing out platters or whatever. And so that's the goal. Because, one of my beasts with being where I live at and then going in other places and see how they live, a lot of urban communities don't have access to fresh produce, good quality produce, or vegan meals. A lot of people don't want to cook. I know it's hot outside, this, that, and the third. And y'all going to McDonald's, y'all going to the Chicken Shack, y'all going to KFC, Popeyes, da-da-da. Why, when you can eat healthy and just, yeah. So that's where my mind is with that. That's where my intentions are with that. Moving on. So as far as Nobody's Harriet Tubman School for the Gifted goes, I think I had one up over here too. Okay. So the Harriet Tubman School for the Gifted is what my brother Al is trying to achieve on Nobody's land. This will be a school built on Nobody's land, which is like really exciting. And so that during that school we teach, we're in the process of creating a curriculum. I used to be a teacher. I love teaching. I have a few other people that love teaching and are really good at teaching. So at some point in time, baby steps, we want to purchase the land first. But at some point in time, I would like to have a sit down with these teachers and develop a curriculum for Harriet Tubman School for the Gifted. We want to teach things such as teaching herbalism, teaching, cosmogony and cosmology, teaching them history, writing, including cursive. We want to teach them, geology, geography, and do it in more so in a hands-on type of matter rather than sitting in a classroom or sitting in front of a computer and doing the least amount of work as possible. We would like to have like a more kinetic type of learning. So that is the goal for Harriet Tubman School for the Gifted. And we'll also be teaching trades. Like Brother Al is like very gifted in the arts. I think he should be an art teacher. But that's just my input. He did the t-shirts and the bags. He also does a plethora of other things like cups and hats. And I'm going to get into another thing in a minute. So this will be a nonprofit, a library, a school, a mall, a camp, a retreat, a how-to in the real world. So like I told y'all before, when we have all the acres of land, we plan to have like a strip mall for our businesses, like any business owners that live on the land. Boom, you got a store. Nah, y'all don't have to pay $1,000 a month for that, to sit in there or whatever. Just pay the rent for the land. That's it. That's all that Let's Nobody's requires is the rent for the land. Let's Nobody's is not trying to make a profit off of anybody who lives on the land. Let's Nobody's is trying to make a profit from anybody who wants to come visit. Anybody that's coming for the retreat. Anybody that's coming for the convention. Whatever. We're selling tickets. That's where we're going to get our revenue from. And a lot of that revenue is going to go back into the land because that's where Let's Nobody's lives. And so we're going to take pride where we're located. Feel me? So it's like it's a win-win situation here. It's a collective here. We're setting it up for all of us. He also plans to make a virtual online school. So while we're, being present, our kids are doing hands-on things is being recorded. And those that at home that, don't want to come to Arizona or have certain obligations that prevent them from coming to Arizona, y'all watch from home. Y'all can watch us from home. And we charge you for the curriculum. And if there's 10 of us living on the land, how much do you really think we're going to charge for y'all to watch? Maybe $10 per kid, $20 per kid. We're not going to charge a lot of money because why? For what? We need supplies and things like that. But if you have enough people putting their money in and you have enough people doing this, that, and the third, I don't have to charge y'all $1,000 a month for tuition. I don't have to charge y'all thousands of dollars a year for tuition. You know what I mean? A couple of tens, maybe 100, maybe 100 a year, maybe 100 a month. I don't know. That's up to Al and what he comes up with. And when we start hashing out the supplies and how much they're going to cost us and how much we can get for free versus how much we actually have to pay for and stuff like that, that's when we'll start having numbers. But again, baby steps. We have to obtain the land first, and that's the first and foremost goal. I'm just letting y'all in. And we're also going to have a library, which I'm excited about. I can't wait to start getting books for the library because I'm really sad that the library is closed. The duality of the netters. We're all aware of the physical and spiritual realm, the right and left. A school holistic medicinal retreat, an organic farm, a stationary central shopping port for import-export of African and African American products, a mall where every product is showcased in and on the property that we own, will generate Black businesses, create Black businesses and jobs, create a sustainable off-grid, create funding, other state Black organizations, create the Black Wall Street ideal, create the Malcolm X ideal, the Huey P. Newton ideal, the Pan-African ideal, the Mary McLeod ideal, and the Marcus Garvey ideal. So that's really exciting. We have, a handful of things that, we're looking towards. And one of the main things that, these are the headstones. This is another thing that we're starting off with. Y'all remember the designs that I showed y'all on the bags? Well, our brother Al, he's so fucking artistic. I love it. He is going to carve them into headstones. Oh, I can. Okay. I wonder if I can zoom this way too. Yes, I can. Okay, so these are the headstones over here. And they'll be like these shapes over here. And they will be like carved like this. These images, like the images you've seen on the bag. And I was asking him, like, maybe if he can, like, engrave the names or maybe engrave, like, a certain design deep enough, I can put an organite somewhere on these. Maybe engrave, like, a deep symbol or something on each one of them. And then I can, put an organite inside of it with some crystals and some metals and things like that. So we're linking up and we're getting that stuff together. We're learning how to make samples out of, pieces that we can get, for the low, just to show people, give people a physical example of what it'll look like. I'm very excited for these tombstones. We want to start off with donating them to people who don't already have headstones on their grave or people who are unsatisfied with the headstones that they have, and to show people like what it is that we do and how we're being selfless about it. This is not a selfish motion. We're not trying to make bank off of anybody at all. We just want to create a better, a better way of life for ourselves and our people. This is another example of the headstone. I circled the two that I like the most. But I love the color of this one. Like, I would take this color and put these two on there. But I thought those were awesome. Thought that was awesome. And then I'm going to show you guys a few other things that I have. So, marketing the land, marketing the idea as far as the tombstones go. Like I said, the people that are dissatisfied with their headstones, people who don't have headstones, we can go on and do them for them. Video recording the placement of the plaques at grave sites. It becomes a marketable ad across all social platforms, as there is no Black-owned presence in this field catering to the Black cultural aspect of our return and send off. So for those of you who are very spiritual and interested in having your family members sent off a better way, we can, emulate a whole funeral service. See, again, the bags that were created. I love these bags. I want a purple one. The bags are also another marketing idea because this is an introduction to design. Oh, you like these designs? Okay. How would you feel about them being on a headstone? Would you invest in that? You know, the long-term aspects is a business market without Black representation, an opportunity to create a historical moment. And then I also plan on reaching out to other funeral homes, showing them examples and saying, hey, like, can we do business with y'all? Can y'all put us in y'all pamphlets of things? Because, when you go into a funeral home, they have a book full of business cards and things that people can choose from. And as a business, you go into these funeral homes and you say, hey, I have a service. I'm capable of doing this. Can you guys put my cards or my flyers on your table? If you walk in there and you're lucky and it just so happen to be family sitting there and it just so happen to look, like they're interested in being cultural, you can say, hey, take this bag, take this shirt. You can have that for free. Hey, you like that design? These are the same designs that we put on our headstones. you know Let people know. We also be making cups and hats and things like that. We create the exchangeable product for donations, and the donations in turn fund the machinery and the land, and it grows itself because people always gonna die, if nothing else. That's what they're going to do. I hate to sound morbid, but it's true. And this is the future ideal of the Arizona land. This is what it's looking like. RV or build a house on this ranch property with trees in Apache County, Arizona. This is the transitional village. I love the make of it. This is very ideal. The houses all in a circle somewhat, but still having their privacy. You're not giving up your privacy to be a part of a community. But then we have our community buildings in the middle. We can have our market in the middle. We can have, and then we can also develop a market on the outskirts so that those who are coming and just visiting, we can have like the retreat properties out here or whatever, and then have the strip mall out here or whatever. But we have our community stuff in here. That way we're not letting strangers into our community. I got kids. I know a lot of y'all got kids. Ain't nobody trying to lose their kids in the middle of Arizona. Feel me? Like, so we're going to make it so that we are protected. We're not just going to have y'all out there looking crazy, but it's a group effort. You know what I mean? So, like, we build our stuff out here on the outskirts, and then we build our visitors stuff, whatever they want. We can have trees all lined up, all on the outskirts. Like, you can't even see what we look like in here. We got trees all lined up, and then we got the houses, and then we have the library, the school, our market, the little fish farm, or veggie farm, and goats and chickens, and things that we have to tend to, the playground, whatever, all that in the middle. That way we can watch everything. Everybody can watch the kids and see where everybody's going and this, that, and the third, because we all face in the center. So that's the plans for the land. Tiny houses are about $10,000. Also, yurts are also $10,000. People are always selling, selling or giving away wood and stuff like that. And then for those of you like, I don't have $10,000. I understand. I don't have $10,000 either. Where you can buy a beat down RV and have it towed for a few hundred. You can buy a beat up bus, like the yellow buses, have it towed for a few hundred. Just to, that's how you want to start yourself off. It's doable and it's realistic, and it won't make you look no kind of way because we all starting from the bottom at the same time together. So the fruit supply is about $125. Oh, he had this marked down. So fruit supply is about $125. Daily take is about $400. 5 days is $2,000 to $5,000. 1 month is. So with its own sustaining industry, it can build from its generated productivity while creating a marketable product and establishing a legal position to qualify and get federally funded. Now, I used to work in warehousing. I worked in a few warehouses, but one particular one I did was food delivery. People would order food to be delivered. People that didn't want to go food shopping and things like that. I know there's a brother here on my Facebook that creates vegan meals. I also create vegan meals. I also have the knowledge to ship vegan meals. So, with us having our own garden and things, we can have a food delivery service where we can adequately deliver food. We might not be able, we might have to learn how to perfect it because what they did, they would do test runs. Like I would go mail some food over to my peoples out in New Jersey, not because they bought it, but because I want to see how it looks when it ends up there to see if I can mail it there. You feel me? You call your friends like, hey, I'm about to go mail you a box. Open it, take a picture of it, tell me how it came out. Then we do our test runs. And then once you get the test runs down packed, now we can really ship out food. We can make vegan meals and healthy meals and ship out food. You have companies like Fruits and Roots. We can do our own type of thing like that. That helps the food sustain itself. The food is making its own money. Ain't that beautiful? It's doable. It's doable when we put our minds together. It's very doable when we put our minds together and we get things going. Off-grid as a central base, preferably Arizona. Ideal climate for stone making as we build Black Wall Street Part 2, a pyramid across the globe. RV or build a house on a 10-acre ranch. You guys know I'm here for the 40 acres. I want 40 acres, which is not much more than what the 10 acres is, which is more of a reason to just go ahead and get the 40. A collective of us in various states as funders become the Underground Railroad conductors at established stations. So we start telling people, hey, help us market. Help us market. We'll pay you. We may not be, it initially might not be able to pay you a lot, but you go to you have family that wants to stay in Atlanta, fine, let them stay in Atlanta. Give them some pamphlets about the headstones, about the organites, about the food delivery, about, whatever retreat or convention or whatever we have coming up. The school. You want to send your kid to school? Some parents love the idea of boarding school or send away camp. Send your kids here. We can send one of our people over there to be the, you know how they have a buddy program on the airplane? Send one of our people over there to be the buddy. Grab them kids, bring them back. We send your kids back home with the buddy, and they come back to you. We can do that, and it can pay for itself. And we got people in different states marketing those things. The product is not only a way to fund our individual objective to freedom, it will build one while financially empowering you as the marketer of your product. So in addition to, you marketing our product, we'll also be marketing your product on the land. When we have our store, you want shelf space for your belongings here. Here, you can have free shelf space. You can have free. You don't have to pay us for the shelf space. Sell the items. We take a couple dollars off, and then you take the rest. It's your money. You have people selling your stuff. If you have retreats, if we have a good concert and we have a few hundred people there, a lot of your stuff will get sold. And you didn't have to do anything. You don't have to show up anywhere. This is another thing regarding the headstone and how it's colored cement poured into a mold, polished and engraved. So it is basically just telling you how it's made. Cement, sand, gravel, epoxies, coloring, a mold. And this is how much they cost. This is basically like a nice quick way to look your eyes across to see a whole business plan. The startup cost is less than $1,000. For less than $1,000, you can create at least 4 or 5 headstones, and those be the ones that maybe 2 out of those 5 we hand out, the other 3 we sell, and then go from there. The plaque is 2.5 feet long, laying in a bed of cement. One way of creating the desired design is to sandblast, and another is to laser engrave. I like the laser engrave idea. He does have a drill for that, so that is going to work. And I really I'm really in love with this idea. I think it's a great idea. So that's about it. That's it for the Harriet Tubman school and the Nobody's Land. I gave you guys some insight on that and where we're going with that. We have all the knowledge. Now it's just a matter of putting together the capital, and then we're good to go. The goal is to at least have the land, if nothing else, by September. All right, moving on. So I let y'all know what Let's Nobodies is doing. I let y'all know what the URA government structure is. What I would like to imply on the land. Let me. Politics. So Brother Rasimba blessed us with a constitution. I had his permission to utilize it to my liking, which I appreciate. And they don't use the Ptolemy zodiac schedule, which is something that I need to get out of too. That's my fault as well. I need to get out of that. But I'm just so attached to being a Virgo. I think I am still a Virgo either way, so it doesn't even matter. So the URA imperial system is what it's called. It's formed by 13 houses called the Celestial Administration. The 12 houses will be headed by 2 netters, 1 man, 1 woman. So it'll be 1 man, 1 woman per each house, and they will each have a staff of 7 called the netter group. And this is in the event that we get big enough and have enough people on the land to even operate like this. And you don't have to live on the land to be a part of the imperial system. You can be a representative in Georgia, New Jersey, Philly, whatever, and still be a part of our government if you're willing to do the work. I would say we would probably have like a meeting every quarter, maybe once every 6 months. If you could sit in virtually or come physically, and you can put in the work that's required, as you know, as we sit in the land and we start seeing what needs to be done, issues, whatever what needs to be handled, and we start delegating those things. This is how it'll be delegated, and if you can fulfill this position, then it is what it is. The 13th house is called the Table of the Sun. The Sun Table will be headed by 144 elders, 72 men and 72 women. 12 houses going according to what the astrologies, the zodiacs. The 12 houses all have fixed agendas and duties. The first house is the military and law enforcement. The second house is treasury. The third house is global and national trade and commerce. The fourth house is food, farming, and agriculture. The fifth house is neighborhood development and community organization. The sixth house is healthcare and dentistry in the medical fields. Seventh house is the judicial system. The eighth house is environmental safety and waste management and energy. The ninth house is educational, vocational. The 10th house is house secretary, record keeper, and statistics. The 11th house is telecommunications, technological development, and celestial studies. The 12th house is mental health, confinement, and rehabilitation. So that's what it is. And it goes on, and you know, we can get into that as time goes on. Again, baby steps. Initially, we have to accumulate the land first. So that's what's happening in that area as far as the URA government structure goes. We went over the off-grid living. I kind of touched on all the different ways that we can be interdependent, whether you want to come to Arizona or not, or you just want to be a bystander. So as far as the info on organites and crystals, we all know what organites are, do we? They're a 50-50 mix of organic and inorganic material. The organic material is the resin, which is the carbon, the clear material that you see on the organites. And the inorganic material is the stones or the metals inside the organite. And what the organic material does is it absorbs it absorbs the positive ions in your space. And this is a misconception. Positive ions are positively charged particles. We are electronic. We are negative. We have more electrons than we have protons. Especially those who have, more rich melanin. You're very carbon based, so there's a bit more electrons there. If you guys want to get into that a little bit deeper, y'all can read me and Ezekiel's book review of the Science and Myth of Melanin on YouTube under the Let's Nobodies page. And so with that, going back to that. So the carbon, it absorbs the positive ions in your space. Positive ions are like, the energy emitted from pet danger of your electronics. Like I'm on a computer right now, I got my phone next to me, I got I got my refrigerator, I have a refrigerator in my room. I have a projector in my room. I have a printer. All that stuff has organites on it to protect me or make me less sensitive. It doesn't completely and that's what like it makes me sick because there's so many forces in the world to debunk our indigenous spirituality and our indigenous knowledge. They go above and beyond, and because we have been so mentally conditioned, we have gone to put their word over ours. If this individual is this culture or an American, a white American, or whatever, they must be more knowledgeable than this Hindu individual or this Aboriginal or this Pacific Islander or this African American or this African. They have to be more knowledgeable because they're a white American and white Americans do everything the best and they have the best access to knowledge and stuff like that. Those are ideas that have been implanted in our head for us not to trust ourselves, not to trust our intuition, our spirit, or that of our elders or our ancestors and what have you. We can't keep doing that. So I will say this. It does not completely erase the emissions from your space for all those people that are walking around with gadgets like it doesn't do anything. No, what it does is it helps the space so you are less sensitive to the emissions. Okay? The carbon absorbs the positive ions in the space, the metals and the stones, they repel the ions in the space. So as the energy is coming in and going out, it's creating a scrubbing motion like this. Because when you make your organite should be layered. Whether they're layered vertical or horizontal, they should be layered a certain way to where it's accessible for the energy to go in and out and to be scrubbed while out as it's going in and out. If you have a item that is like jam packed with stones and there's no direction and there's whatever, like it's a special way that they have to be made. You can't just be throwing stones inside a resin and tell people, oh look, organite. You can't just be throwing glitter and plants inside and be like, no, because you are miscommunicating the product you have. Granted, a lot of these products are beautiful and I would love to have them on my shelf and things like that, and I still will. At the same time, I'm not, you can't allow these people who don't have all the knowledge. They're just making what looks pretty because they are actually helping perpetuate that notion that these things don't work. You know what I mean? So like, please make sure you're creating your organites correctly and efficiently and methodically to clean out the space. Also be mindful of the stones and the metals that you're mixing together. You shouldn't have a fire stone and a water stone in the same piece. You shouldn't have a fire and an earth stone in the same piece because it's kind of like counterproductive. If you're gonna have firestones in there and have them with if you're gonna put metals in there with the firestones, have the metals be complementary. You don't put silver and platinum inside of red jasper and carnelians. You know what I mean? That's not gonna go well because you have this inward intuitive stone, inward intuitive spiritual metal with this outward root chakra stone, and then you wonder why you're like, oh, I don't know what's happening. Yeah, because you're mixing things that should not be mixed. So get into the science of that. If you guys want more information on what metals do in your organites, Let'sNobodiesCollection.com does have a blog. I have this really long Google document with all the stones I've ever touched in my life on there with the meanings and stuff like that. I will post that on the blog page as well so that you guys have like a one-stop shop to just look at the stones. And as I go across and I'm introduced to more stones or more information per each stone, I will update the blog for y'all. So that's something that is on my to-do list. But the metals are up there. You can also correlate this with the moon phases, the zodiacs, that the moon is within different planets. If you want to focus on a certain planet at a certain time, make the organites accordingly. Don't just say, oh, this is pretty, this is for you, wear it anytime you want, because there might be certain times where you shouldn't wear that. You know what I mean? At certain times where you shouldn't have that on, or it's going to make it worse. Like, I'm not about to sit here and wear a bunch of sensitivity stones. Like, I'm not wearing rose quartz during Cancer season. As if I'm not already emotional. I'm gonna make it worse. You know what I mean? I just want to be mindful. And when I do wear like when I do wear rose quartz, I have it lined up with two other stones around it to balance it accordingly. You know what I mean? Like you got to be mindful of what it is that you're mixing and you're doing. You can't do everything every day. You can't mix everything with everything. It look nice, but it's not necessary, and you just shouldn't do it. So yeah, that's what it is with the organite. So while the carbon is absorbing the positive ions, some examples is the pet danger, the EMF emissions from your electronics, pollution, natural pollution that in the air if you're a smoker and the smoke in the air, etc., etc., and the stones and the metals repel it. And a lot of effects that you might start to feel from having organizing your space is a sense of relaxation, calmness. You're not easily triggered. I don't know if you guys hear that. I don't hear it anymore. I have a computer in my room. Obviously y'all see by now I have a dual screen computer in my room, and I still don't hear a humming or anything in my ears. I don't have a TV in my room anymore. I have a projector screen now. I think the projector is way better than having television in your room. And it's also way cheaper. It was only $50. I got that off Amazon, and now I see they have them at Dollar General now for $50. That costs way less than a TV. And my screen is my whole wall. The screen is bigger than the TV, and it's just as clear and everything else. You stick your Roku stick in there, your Amazon stick, your phone, whatever you want to do. It's on there. You can do that. So yeah, I don't hear the humming in my ears anymore. I sleep better at night. It's better sleep, better relaxation, better mood control, and things like that. Certain little ticks and things that happen to you when you're around too much electricity, it kind of doesn't happen as much anymore. You get what I'm saying? So that's what happens when you're in the space of organites. Now, for those of you who are like, don't crystals do the same thing? Organites is an extra ingredient because organites have the carbon. Okay? The crystals are just as good because crystals are what you put in the organites. The metals, the wire wrapping, you can also put in the organites. So they too have their destiny. But whereas the organites literally scrub the ions in your space, the crystals just protect you from the ions in your space. There is no scrubbing motion because there's nothing attracting those ions. It's just pushing the ions away. Like I told you, the inorganic material pushes it away. So all it's doing is pushing it away from you, which is fine. It protects you. But what about the other people around you that don't have the crystals on? It will be, better for you and the people around you to utilize the crystals, especially better. When I was reading The Science and Myth of Melanin, it brought me to the aha moment. We are organites. You are carbon, and you have metals and crystal materials within you. You are made up the same thing as organites are made up. It's no coincidence that those who are more carbon based, I'm not saying everybody, there's what, like 200 of us that made it out the hood, but there's no it's not a coincidence that these carbonated people live in such heavily polluted areas. We are the organites in these areas. We are like your melanin. Your melanin is a cleansing mechanism. Your melanin absorbs everything because it's carbon, and because it's like, okay, so the melanin, our melanin is a little bit different because it thinks it's helping by holding on to what it attracts instead of repelling it. Now, granted, once it gets, deep and concentrated enough, then, you start repelling it. To us, it feels like sickness, but our body is pushing out what's happening. You know what I mean? You might, have upset stomachs to where, you're throwing up, you're pooping, your eyes are watery, your teary, your nose is running, things like that start happening, and that's your body finally repelling it, but it takes a lot longer. That's why certain drugs were created for urban neighborhoods, because they know how our melanin operates. They know that we're organites. They know what we're capable of and what it is that our body naturally does, because we are one with the earth. This is how we give back to the earth. When we dirty up the earth, our body cleanses it. That's what it's supposed to do. But when you have an overabundance, our bodies isn't cleansing it because our bodies are already heavily concentrated. You know what I'm saying? So it's like You know, that's another reason why I want to live off grid. We need a do-over. We need to be in a clean space. These people don't want to clean these cities up. They don't want to do that for us. They want to wait until it's gentrified. Then they want to clean things up, and it's still not even wholly clean because you're expecting these people that we know have been historically dirty to clean. That doesn't make sense to me. I'm not interested in that. I'd rather just buy my own land and just start from scratch and just do what I do. You know what I mean? And just be in my own clean air, and there's no 5G towers around me, and it's nothing, none of that around me that I even have to worry about whether it's real or true or theory, or I don't have to worry about it because it's not in my space. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that, and I'm in love with that idea, and that's where my walk is. And respect to anybody whose walk is not in that motion, that's fine. Anyway, so you are walking an organite, so it's more helpful to you to do both. I do both. I have crystals around my neck. I got crystals on my arm. I got crystals on my. I don't go outside without them. It's like an innate thing now. Like, you know how some girls, I don't go outside without my face on. I don't. I have to have something on. I don't feel right without going out with nothing on. Something got to be on my body. And when I put it on, I pay attention to the crystals I just put on. Like, okay, I just put on that. That's going to do that. And that's going to do that. I don't wear all my bracelets every day. Some days, some bracelets going to stay back because I don't need you today. Like, oh man, I was emotional yesterday. Or I was too in my head yesterday to the point where I got absolutely nothing done. Or, you know, whatever. So, like, I won't wear that crystal today. I won't wear that bracelet today. Regardless of if it looked good, if it matched my outfit or whatever, that's not what it's for. It's not for it to match your outfit or look good or whatever. It has a purpose. You know what I mean? So, you know, I pretty much wrapped it up. I'm not going to repeat myself anymore. Y'all heard what I said. So that's what it is. As far as organizing crystals go, that's the importance of organizing crystals, not just on your body, but also in your space. Create a crystal grid in your home, in your rooms, separately, in your home, all together, around your home, in your garden area. Crystal grids are important. If you have plants, especially in your home, on top of or next to your, like I have a plant that sits on top of my refrigerator in my room. There's a crystal grid inside of that plant pot. I have a crystal grid in there. You have to protect your things. If I want this plant to do what it needs to do, I need to make sure that it's clean to do what it needs to do. I can't just be like, all right, plant, do your thing in my air. But then I'm not getting the plant the love it deserves. In addition to, you know, water and sunlight, you know, it's used to being around some minerals. And so we need to put some minerals in our soil with intentions, you know what I mean? So that's what that, as far as organizing crystals. So going over that, my planetary overview. If you guys are interested in my planetary overview, it is on YouTube. I did want to go over a few planets with y'all just for the fun of it. Well, not the fun of it, but like, you know, just to let y'all know, you know, a reminder or whatever, since y'all sitting in on this meeting. So as far as Cancer season goes, Mercury is currently, what's today? The 9th? Oh, that Mercury is still in retrograde. It's still in Cancer in the 11th house, and it will be in retrograde until the 12th. And during the season, we're focusing on inward because, you know, Mercury is all about communication, how we learn, how we teach, and things like that. And we know that Cancer is like that emotional, going inward, intuition, and things like that. So now we're going inward. We're learning about our intuition. We're learning about ourselves, our homes, and that's also where we're bringing what we learned. We're bringing what we learned home. We're bringing it towards our children, our family members, and things like that. When we were out in Gemini season, we were going outward. We were bringing in multiple streams of income, multiple streams of ideals, of philosophies, of religion and spiritualism and tools and things like that. We had all these multiple things going on, but now we're going back home. We're going back inside ourselves and back inside of our home with our family and our loved ones. You probably find yourself hanging out more so with family and closer friends than associates right now. Now, when Leo season comes, that's when it's starting to get busy. But right now, this is what we're doing. And with it being in the 11th house, most of the things that we've been focused on as far as teaching and learning has been on a humanitarian level. And I can agree with that. We have I won't mention it, but we have the different movements going on, and they're all rooted in humanitarianism. We have the Moors coming out and being, well, at least in my reality, they weren't so prominent in my reality until about a few weeks ago. I knew of them, but like I didn't, know the insides until then. So yeah. Venus is in Gemini in the 10th house, and it'll be there until August 2nd. And we know that Venus is still in retrograde. And multiple love interests, because we know Gemini is all about multiples. You either have a multiple love interests, or you feel like extremely attached to the one that you have now, to where you feel like you can't do anything without him. Also, multiple streams of income, because we know Venus rules our love and our in the pentacles. So we're still concentrated on the multiple streams of income, those multiple relationships of love, and not just romantic love. You also have friendship love. You also have, love for your associates, your coworkers, and things. It's just coming in abundance. There's abundance in all those areas. And with it being a 10th house, we know 10th house is the house of success. So in order to reach success, these things must be done. Be careful with making permanent decisions within your Venus planet while it's in retrograde, though. Just be careful. Yeah. Oh, no. Actually, Venus stopped the retrograde on June 25th. June 26th, we were chilling. We're chilling until August 2nd. Mars is in Pisces. No, Mars is in, I'm sorry. I had, like, when I did this, of course, I did it at the beginning of Cancer season. So Pisces is in Aries in the 8th house, and it entered here on the 28th. Okay, we know Mars rules our animal instincts, our root chakra things, our motivation and energy and desires. And with it in Aries, you might feel like super motivated during this time. Your energy is at 100. Your desires are at 100, because we have this double energy with Mars and Aries kind of, connecting together. That's like a Super Saiyan energetic mode, and is rooted in that 8th house of Scorpio energy. Scorpios is all about death and rebirth, and we've been killing a lot of stuff, haven't we? We've been killing statues, we've been killing the way people think, we've been killing the way the police operate, the way the government's been operating, the way these celebrities have been operating. Oh my God. Now, I've been following, I won't get too in detail, but I've been following that for a few years now, ever since I was in high school, because my first job in high school, I worked at Burger King. And there was this guy here, and I wish I could remember this guy's name. He was amazing. He would just go on and on and on and on all day about it. And I was so intrigued, like, oh my God, like, this stuff's really happening. Now, I was touched when I was a child, so I could only imagine, like, I wasn't touched maliciously. I was touched because this man was sick and attracted to me. Not saying it was better or worse, but it's not as bad to me as someone being tortured for the pleasure of me torturing you. Like, I want you to be scared. I want you to feel that energy. Like, that's crazy. And it makes me think, like, all the stuff that we watch on the news and stuff like that, if we're being mindful of our energy and the fact that we're energetic beings and all this physical stuff and stuff that we've created, imagine the energy that you create. Like, what do you think the police is really for? Like, I feel like the police invoke PTSD in individuals, because look at the history of policing. Like, you can't sit here and say, oh yeah, the Holocaust did XYZ, but then turn around and turn a blind eye to what PTSD, is invoked in people when they see them flashing lights behind them, or that uniform slow walk around and stuff like that. I think that's trash. So, like, I guess more so because it's directed to people who aren't white Americans. But even it still is, though. White Americans don't like cops either. So, like, I don't understand what the problem is. But then it brought me to the theory, like, maybe, like, that energy that they be trying to get from them kids, they get from us regularly when we watch the news, when we be watching them videos online, when we be outside protesting. Like, that's the energy they be needing. Like, every summer, when the summer is about to start, these random shootings start. Now, granted, I don't know everything everybody in the hood do, but sometimes I know enough to where I know that dude ain't from here. Where he come from? Why he come out here and start shooting? I live in a small town. What's happening? And it happens, at a lot of places. And then, these things happening with the cops, and then cops just getting, vacations, and then I see people coming to the conclusion that these people that they supposedly are killing aren't really dead, but then they got us all roused. We're either scared or we're angry, and we're doing it by the millions, if not billions. Can you imagine what kind of energy we have created across the globe by being reactive to things that they keep showing us on TV or online and stuff like that. And that's another reason why I'll be on the fence with staying on and getting off of Facebook, because staying on Facebook means I can market my stuff to more people, but getting off Facebook means that I'm no longer a part of that problem of helping, with that energy. I try to keep my energy clean. Like, when I start seeing as soon as I see a video that invokes, I get off. I'm not about to indulge in all that. I'm just not. I don't want to. I'm not about to. And it seems like Facebook is just the place where you can slurp that energy up, and a lot of people say that, especially the empaths. Like, yo, as soon as I get on here, it's just like, ugh, like, and ain't no telling what the owner of that platform is into, because he looks like he can be a part of it just like anybody else. So and we know that those algorithms are being fixed to invoke certain things. So, who's to say that like algorithms aren't being switched on these platforms to get that energy out of y'all on some legal shit? Like on a global, like that's crazy. Like, okay, we can't have this anymore. All right, we're just gonna do it up here. We make it work. Like, we gotta be careful. We gotta be careful with our energy. So yeah, that's what's happening with Mars. I'm not gonna get into it because I want y'all to watch my video, but I will tell y'all. I wanted to tell y'all what planets was called. Oh yeah, that's on here. So Mars and Neptune, they're both in Pisces in the 8th house. So they're both dealing with that expansive energy, somewhat close to almost being like illusion, if you will. Just expansive energy overall, and your energy and how you're motivated, and also so in your physical, your root chakra mind, and also in your expansive mind, which is Neptune, which it deals with that beyond sense, that sixth sense. And we know Mars deals with red and black, the root chakra stuff. So those two are in tune right now. We're getting a strong sense of duality between the spiritual and physical realm right now, especially since it's rooted in Pisces. Pisces is causing the bond with those two fishes swimming in opposite directions. That's solidifying the bond between the physical and the spiritual realm for us, and it's solidifying the bond in our 8th house, which is the house of death and rebirth. So we're dealing with a death and rebirth in those senses in our mind, and we're regaining that power. And we're also learning some secrets about how people have been utilizing those things against us, like those theories that I just gave you, those philosophies I just gave you, like, that's rooted in physical and spiritual. When you get into like the energies that our hormones emulate, that's a power, that's magic. Granted, we fall in tune with these scientific terms, and those scientific terms kind of belittle what it is that we do, but that's magic, pheromones and all that stuff. That don't sound like magic to you? Sounds like it to me. So Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto. Jupiter and Pluto are both in Capricorn in the 5th house, while Saturn is chilling in the 6th. But with all three of them in Capricorn, all of like your restriction, there's a death and rebirth in those restrictions and those laws and how you tolerate things and your politics and your religion. It's a shift happening in that area, and it's going back to your home and your family and things like that, and how you creatively express yourself in an artistic way. It's going back towards your children, like all these things we learned in Gemini season. We're bringing that back home. We're bringing it to our kids and things like that. And right now, our midheaven is in Virgo. Well, no, it moved into Libra now. We're in Libra. So a more balanced energy is coming into play. And this is an energy rooted in fairness and helping and pleasing others. Over there. I'll put it on top of the shelf over there. So, like, we're going to be more about helping others and becoming a humanitarian, which is what I talked about already with the Gemini energy and the 10th house and things like that. We know the 10th house is ruled by midheaven and everything. So that's all the little bit of gems that I'm going to give you as far as the planetary reading goes. If you guys are interested in the whole planetary reading about, reading the Neptune letter, close my door. Thank you, baby. in regards to really making better in terms of, cancer season, and necessary to focus on, or Risha to focus on, the deity to focus on the colors and the herbs to have in your bath on your altar, etc. During the season, definitely check out my planetary forecast video on YouTube because it's up there in abundance, chilling. I even have last year's up there too. So if you want to compare and contrast planet positions and stuff like that, highly suggested. Today was a day of knowledge for me. I gained a lot of knowledge today. After I get off here, I plan to gain more knowledge and do some writing. Hopefully, get some writing done. I need to stop procrastinating. Excuse me. I take a break from the book club. We'll probably pick it up soon once I gain some level of discipline back to be able to discipline my child as far as the readings go. Yeah, because it's summertime. Everybody kind of wake up when they want to wake up. The energy is different in the house. It's not like, and then as a Virgo, I'm trying to learn how to ease up. So like that's starting to affect, how easy I am with my kids, So a lot of things are starting to change, and I'm trying not to be so hard on myself and just take things as they go and whatever. So this Thursday meetings is something, you guys, obviously I find myself dedicated to, whether people tune in or not, just to keep myself on a routine of this. But when it comes to the book club, we're going to work on that. We're going to get that book finished. The documentary. So submissions for the documentary are due on the 17th. In 30 minutes or less, I need you to answer questions for me. And I have them here, and I'll read them out loud. And the theme of the documentary is to open up the dialogue of what freedom means to you. I know everybody has their own perception of what freedom is. My perception of freedom, obviously, is living off grid within my own community and having, my own thing going on, or whatever, to where like when I put my phone down, I'm completely unaffected. I don't have to go outside and look at cops. I don't have to, drive down the street and be stressing. Like, no, I can just walk across the street and go to the store and get what I need. Like, I don't have to do no crazy stuff, for respect or for peace, or I don't have to worry about my son going outside with a hoodie on because everybody in my community know that's my son and they know he don't be doing nothing crazy. Like, and there's no police out there like, hey, you stop running, and start shooting at him because he don't stop because now he's scared. Like, I don't got to do any of that. If I live on my own land and live in my own little bubble, now if he wants to come back and integrate with the world, that's his business, and I respect that, and I will equip him to do that. I won't just remove myself for the world and not still know what's going on, because I don't want to put my child in that position of not knowing. He's still going to be educated on that, but we will not be of the world. So yeah, that's happening. That's happening. That's the theme of the documentary. We're just opening up the dialogue of what freedom is to everybody. So introduce yourself with your name, your age, your occupation, and how you identify yourself. Some people identify as Black, African American. I'm a woman. I'm a woman. I'm a Virgo. That's all I identify as. I don't really feel like, of course, when I'm talking, because I'm so used to saying the word Black, I'll say the word Black. But like, when people want to get into politics, no, you have to call yourself this when you're in. Yeah, I'll call myself that to get out of that. Yeah, I'll do that. But that's not how I feel about myself. I feel like that's more junk, that's more physical rooted junk that we created, so we like it. But just because we did it don't mean it's good. I see a lot of stuff that we did historically that was bullshit. But the first question is, what does freedom mean to you? The second question is, do you believe you are free? Why or why not? The third question is, what kind of future do you want to leave behind for other generations? The next question is, describe one event, personal or non-personal, or you can do one of both, that's fine, that tells you that you are free or not free. And then share a piece of information you want to be permanently capsuled, like something that you want to be spread throughout generations. So those are the questions for the documentary. If you want them typed or whatever, sent to you in a typed message, please message me. You can message me on Instagram at Sunshine Monet. You can message me on Facebook at Sunshine Monet. You can email me at listnobodies@gmail. You can message me off the website. You can go on listnobodiescollection.com and find me as a member in the talking group, or just message me in the little chat bubble that pops up when you go on the website. And I will gladly send those to you. I also wanted to reach out to Defense That's what I did. I reached out to defense instructors and I asked them, and I wanted to make sure I had enough people on this platform that would be interested in taking a virtual defense course, maybe monthly or bi-weekly or something. And I wanted to see how much you would charge because I would evenly layer that out to everyone and make that just the how much you charge for membership, and I will make it more than just the defense class. I'll send you guys a free gift or whatever. I'll make you a part. I'll make you feel special about being a royal member of the Let'sNobodiesCollection.com website. Please go to the Let's Nobodies page for Nobody's Talking. Tune into those group chats because I don't post things on Facebook that are of the matter of nobodies. All the stuff that I post that is a matter of nobodies is on the website. I will not be posting none of this tombstone stuff on Facebook. I will not be posting a land on Facebook. I'm not doing none of that. It's on Let's Nobodies. So if you want to stay in tune with Nobodies, you have to be on Nobodies. Facebook is not worthy, and I don't care for it. I don't want to be bothered with it. So that's what's happening. Let's Nobodies is on the move, and I'm very, very excited. And thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching and listening. I did reach out to individuals that work for power companies and put up the 5G towers. Hopefully they get back to me by next Thursday so that we could chat. I also reached out to a few more American groups because like I told y'all earlier, like it was one group that was like repossessing land. And I'm really interested in that. Now you have some people that tell their own version of the story, like, oh, they're squatting. Yeah, you can use that word, but it worked though, and I just want to know how it worked. Because if it worked, I'll do that in Jersey. I'll definitely do that in Jersey gladly. Ask them to help me get a building real quick. But yeah, that's what's happening with that. So I'll be here next Thursday at 7:30. Now that I have the cord up and popping, you see how well this worked out this time. So this should be like 100 next Thursday. Hopefully I'll have people on. I'll market this better. But this was a good meeting because this was me just being able to finally like vomit everything that needs to come out, everything that y'all need to be told and stuff like that. So thank y'all for tuning in, and I'll see y'all next Thursday. Y'all can catch me on social media sites, editing, space, place, and time.